Okay, well, the few of you that are here, welcome back. How did it go with your future me manifestos? I know 2 of you have turned them in already. 2 of you have yet to do them. What about the other 2 of you? Awesome. Do you have yours done? No? All right, you got to get that done. Okay? Because in order to do this week's homework, you kind of need to have done that homework. Okay? So today or tomorrow, get that done. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take this home and I'm going to make a copy of it, and then I'm going to bring it back to you so you can have it if you want to reference it. Because sometimes it's fun to look back on it. Okay? All right, last week we started talking about your future and your future self. This week we're going to learn how to see that future clearly. I was hopeful not to be disappointed or anything. All right. So, who has heard of the term visualization?
Not me.
Not me.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not woo-woo manifestation. It's actually based in science. And more importantly, it's based in faith. In fact, as I've mentioned before, being Christians gives us a huge advantage in the world of goal achievement. And here's why. Hebrews 11:1 tells us that faith is the confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we cannot see. So that means, literally, having faith, being a Christian, knowing God, has been training your brain this whole time to be able to visualize, to know that something else can be out there, even if we don't see it with our human eyes. Your faith is built on that, believing in something, someone that you can't physically see with your eyes. But you believe in everything God, Jesus died and rose again, and you have assurance that the Holy Spirit lives in you. You believe in heaven, and you believe in answered prayers. You believe all of that with a fervency, a deep, unshakable confidence, even though you haven't seen it with your physical eyes yet. Many people in this world have to work really, really hard to train their brains to believe in something they can't see yet. But you guys, you've been doing it for as long as you've known God. So you're already primed for this lesson. Every time you pray, every time you worship, every time you trust God with something beyond your control, you're exercising the exact mental muscle that makes visualization work. Some people say that seeing is believing. Have you heard that term? Seeing is believing. Well, we as Christians know that it's actually the opposite. Believing allows us to see, and there's science behind that. When you believe that something is true, really deeply believe it, your brain starts looking for evidence of it. Your eyes start noticing the proof of it, and your actions start aligning with it. That's why Proverbs 23:7 says, "As he thinks in his heart, so is he." So when you talk about visualizing your future, you're not just learning a new skill. You're just using that faith muscle you've already been building and applying it towards your goals. You've been visualizing heaven your whole life, and now we're going to visualize your purpose here on earth. Okay? Visualization is the practice of creating vivid, detailed mental images of outcomes you want to achieve. Basically, it's using your imagination. You guys remember that, right? It's mental rehearsal, okay? Your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Remember last week when I mentioned mental rehearsal, we talked about Olympic athletes. That's one example of it. Olympic athletes visualize their performance in extreme detail. Welcome, welcome. Where's your sister?
It's just me today.
Oh, okay.
She had a long weekend.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about visualization and how it's rooted in faith because of these 2 Bible verses right here. All right, so Olympic athletes visualize their performances. They do this in extreme detail before they compete. Swimmers see themselves diving off the block, feel the water all around them. They count their strokes. and they feel the wall as they push off it before ever even touching the water. Okay? Gymnasts mentally rehearse their whole routine, every flip, every landing, every muscle movement, hundreds of times before they step out onto the mat. Because studies show that when you vividly imagine doing something, the same neural pathways fire in your brain as the neural pathways that do when you actually do the thing. Your muscles even activate slightly when you visualize the activation. So by the time they compete, their brains and bodies have already practiced thousands of times. Another example is one of my favorite actors, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was broke and struggling in the 90s. Every single night, he would drive up to the Hollywood Hills, sit in his car looking out at the people around him, and he would visualize directors valuing his work, people enjoying his movies, and himself being so successful. He even wrote himself a check one day for $10 million. He labeled this for acting services rendered. And he dated it Thanksgiving of 1995, which at the time I think was 5 years away. He carried this check that he wrote to himself in his wallet, and he looked at it regularly, visualizing receiving that amount. Guess what happened?
Got $10 million on Thanksgiving 1995.
Just before Thanksgiving in 1995, he signed a contract and found out he would be being paid $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber, the movie that put him on the map. Not my favorite movie of his, but it put him on the map and it made his dream come true. So, do you guys think that's a coincidence? No, I don't think so at all. I think his brain believed it so deeply that every choice he made, every audition, every performance, and every opportunity he took was guided by that vision and made it become reality. Oprah Winfrey is another really famous person who is big on visualization. She talked a lot about how she visualized her success long before it ever happened. She saw herself as a talk show host, impacting millions of people, even when she was just a local news anchor that no one really knew. She said, "Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because you will become what you believe." Now, there are two main scientific reasons for this. Number one, we've talked about a lot in this class, is your neural pathways. Do you remember those from the growth mindset lesson oh so long ago? When you visualize something so repeatedly and vividly, you are building those same neural pathways as if you were actually experiencing the thing. So you're literally training your brain to expect success before it's ever a reality. Now, number two, the reason for this is the reticular activating system. I think I mentioned this last week really quickly. Your RAS is a part in your brain that we will talk more about next week, but basically it's your brain's filter. It tells your brain what's important and what can be ignored, because we have a lot of stuff coming into our brain every single day, and we would basically overload if our brain had to take it all in, every piece of sensory information. So your reticular activating system decides what's important and what can be ignored so that your brain can function better. Well, when you visualize your goals clearly and repeatedly, you program that system to start noticing opportunities, resources, and people that will help you achieve those goals. It's like when you get a new car. Have you guys ever noticed that if you bought something new, a car, a certain type of shoes, all of a sudden you realize so many people around you have that. Like when we got our Traverse, all of a sudden everybody around is a doppelganger on the road, right? That's your reticular activating system at work. They were always there. Those Converse you just bought, 6 other people that you know already wore them every day. You just never noticed them because your brain didn't think they were important. Visualization does that with your goals. It tells your brain what to start seeking out so that you can see it, not just in your mind, but into reality. Let me share 2 quotes that perfectly capture why this matters, by 2 of my favorite people. Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Einstein, one of the greatest minds in history, said that imagination was more important than knowledge. Because he knew that knowledge tells you what is, but imagination tells you what could be. Your imagination is where your future is born, but anything, before anything, exists in reality. It exists in someone's imagination first. And Brian Tracy, he says, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. Think about that. When you go to a movie and they show you previews of what's coming up, your imagination works the same way for your life. What you imagine today is previewing what's coming in your life. So the question is, what movies are you previewing in your mind?
The new Animal Farm movie.
All right, but here's a warning. Something really critical you guys need to understand. The visualization works both ways. If you spend all your time imagining worst case scenarios, thinking of terrible things that could happen, ways you could mess up or go wrong, failing the test, embarrassing yourself, guess what? Your brain starts preparing for that reality too. Starts finding the things that it needs to make happen to make that reality come into fruition. Whatever you focus on the most grows. So if you notice yourself imagining something going badly, you probably should take a couple of minutes to go, yeah, but what if it went perfectly? And imagine that for a few minutes. So that's why it's so important to be very intentional about what you imagine. Don't just let your mind spiral into fear and what ifs, okay? Direct that toward the future you actually want. Remember that Philippians 4:8 says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, and whatever is admirable. If anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about these such things. God is telling you to guard your thoughts, to direct your imagination towards good things. Because what you imagine, you move toward. All right? I'm going to prove this to you guys right now. Okay? We're going to do a quick little exercise together, a little experiment. I always love those. So everyone sit comfortably and move your notebook out from in front of you. We need some space on the table. Okay, I'm going to guide you guys through a visualization, and I want you to imagine it as vividly as possible. Use all your senses when you can, and I'm going to bring your attention to some imaginary items I passed out before class. Okay, please play along and imagine each item as I list them. Imagine in front of you, on the table, is a plate. It's perfectly circular, bright white, with gold indentation along the edges. On this plate is a yellow lemon, a bright yellow, ripe lemon. See it clearly. The waxy texture of the skin, the little dimples, the way the light reflects off of it. I'm waiting for somebody to catch up on seeing the lemon, because we're about to pick it up, and we need hands. Kevin, come on. You're ruining my visualization exercise. Pick up the lemon. We're going to pick up the lemon. Pick it up off the plate. Feel it in your hand. Feel the ripples of the skin, how heavy it is, how juicy it must be. Kevin.
She's laughing. Okay.
Bring it close to your nose and smell it. Smell that sharp citrus smell.
Oh god, I smell it.
I feel it more than I smell it.
All right, you guys are already noticing it. Now sit it back down on your plate. It's about to get even cooler, okay?
I don't feel it. That's weird.
That's good. You sat it down. Now next to the plate, you notice that you have a paring knife. It has a sharp blade and a dark wooden handle, so pick it up carefully.
Jordy.
Cut the lemon in half. Feel the resistance of the knife through the tough peel of the lemon. Hear the sound of the knife slicing through. See the juice starting to run out, and the pale yellow flesh and the seeds inside. Now I want you to take one of those halves and cut it in half. You got 2 halves, now cut that half in half.
My hand feels.
All right? Now you have 2 slices and a big half of a lemon sitting on your plate, yes?
Yeah.
Pick up one of those juicy, dripping slices. Dripping off your fingers. You can smell the juice. Bring it up to your mouth. Now take a bite.
That smelled weird.
Take a bite. Taste it. How sour. The juice just flooding into your mouth. Feel it on your tongue and your teeth.
My mouth feels kind of wet.
Oh, it does. All right, I want you guys to think for a second.
My fingers still feel tingly.
How many of you started salivating? Your mouth started watering?
Yeah,
Feeling
there's
wet?
wet by my mouth.
Yes.
It feels wet.
And you smelt the lemon. Is there a lemon in this room?
No.
No.
Did I trick you guys? Did I put some sort of spray in here?
No.
I don't think so, because
I
I didn't
didn't.
smell anything anymore.
So that's the power of visualization.
Well, I do this kind of exercise every day.
It was weird, isn't it?
See, this happened before where I think of some like a food and I'm like.
And
taste
then
or
all of a
smell
sudden
it.
you're smelling it like, man, did
Or
mom
like-
just read my mind and
or
make
like-
cinnamon rolls?
A old memory smell.
Yes, almost.
Yes.
The,
Like, I
the
had
nostalgic
this like
food.
there.
The olfactory senses are very, very strong. That's your smelling senses, and I miss them. But funny thing, I've not been able to smell since 2021, but
Can
I
you
smelled
smell
that
the
lemon.
I knew it. See, Mom, I go through.
How does that work?
exercises
I don't
like
have
this.
actual olfactory senses anymore, but my brain convinced me I did. So that's the power of visualization. I'm glad that it blew all of your minds. You didn't actually bite a lemon, there's no lemon in this room, but your brain believed it was real, and your body responded, preparing for it to be real by producing the saliva. That proves that your brain doesn't know the difference between current reality and a vividly imagined one. If your brain and body respond that powerfully to imagining a lemon just once, imagine what happens when you vividly and repeatedly visualize achieving your goals, becoming your future self, living your dream life. Can you see where the potential power lies in that? Your brain will start preparing and your body will start responding and your actions will soon start aligning to that desired outcome. It's not magic, it's not tricks, it's neuroscience. And when you add faith into it, that's how miracles happen. All right, so knowing why visualization works isn't going to change your life in and of itself. You've proven to yourselves that it does work. Now, knowing it can work for anyone, but that it won't work for you if you don't actually do it, let me teach you how to do it well. So number 1 step of visualizing well, and I will have a summary of it, so if you guys don't feel like you can keep up writing notes, that's okay, is to be specific and detailed with your visualization. An example of this is you're not going to just imagine, man, I really hope I graduate college. Graduate college. No, that's too vague.
I hope I can pass the entry exam.
See yourself walking across the stage at graduation. Feel the stage underneath your feet. Hear your name being called. Feel the diploma in your hand. Hear your family cheering. Feel that pride in your chest.
Good
Oh,
question.
word.
What?
Did we get a diploma? I don't know.
What, at college? Yeah.
No,
Or
for
degree.
Echo.
For Echo, that's up to your parents. So I made Nathaniel a diploma last year when he graduated. So because we are your school administrator, we have to dish out the diploma. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Echo would have done one too.
I think Amy maybe is her name? I think she has a template for a diploma. If not, I do. You can have your parents email me and I can send them my little template and they can just put your name in and then they sign and date it because they're your administrator. All right, so let's see here. So yeah, the more vividly and detailed it is, the more real it becomes in your brain. And the more your brain will know to look for it. All right, number 2 is use all your senses whenever possible. Okay, don't just see your future. Do what I did with the lemon. Feel it, hear it, smell it, taste it.
Taste your future. Get down on the stage and lick the stage.
Okay, don't lick the stage. But like maybe it's foggy that morning and you can taste the little cloud that you're walking through. Like, don't be weird. Or you know what, do, because you are, and you're trying to imagine your future, so that's fine. That's right. All right, so the lemon exercise worked so well and so quickly because we used multiple senses. Okay, the first time I was subject to the lemon exercise, it was only the cutting and then the picking it up and tasting it. Okay, and it worked. I started drooling. Like, I had to go like this and went, whoa. It blew my mind. But then every time it comes up, which comes up a lot in the realm of self-development, I hear it a little differently each time. And I noticed that it's more and more powerful if you use more and more senses. So that's why I used all of them on y'all. All right, so number 3 is feel the emotion. Okay, this is the most important part when it comes to visualizing your future. Don't just see yourself achieving the goal. Feel the emotions of having achieved it. What is that going to feel like to you when you get your first book published? What will that feel like to you when you walk across the stage at college? Right? Feel the joy, the peace, the excitement, and the gratitude. Your brain is wired to move toward good feelings. So when you attach positive emotions to your visualized future, your brain is going, ooh, yes, I want to go there, and starts creating those pathways to get you there. All right, so when should you visualize? This is up to you. People who have really learned the secret and realized just how powerful it is, they do it daily. Sometimes multiple times a day. That's good.
Just keep my pretty sure.
First thing in the morning is one time that I like to do it, right after I sit down and pray, before my Bible reading. I like to visualize just how the day is going to go. And visualization can be from right now, an hour from now, or 10 years from now, or 50 years from now. I forget how young you guys are. 70 years from now, you guys can visualize that time frame and think, man, am I going to have great grandkids? Right?
I mean, it's not outlandish for you. You're like 30. It's possible.
I'm 35 now.
It's possible.
Yes,
Like
I
said.
did start young. I plan to see my great grandkids because I plan to live a long time, maybe even great. Right before bed is another really great time to visualize.
That's usually what I do.
Because right when you're going to sleep, your brain is primed for subconscious activity. Because you're about to be asleep. Your conscious is about to turn off and get out of the way. So if you visualize a future outcome that you're working toward right now, right before going to bed, your brain has all night to work on making that happen.
That's how I know I'm falling asleep when I start thinking the weirdest things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm falling asleep.
Oh yeah, it's coming. So try to control those weird things though. Try to control, like, what is my current short-term goal that I'm working on? What is that current short-term goal working towards as a medium-term goal? And what big long-term goal is that gonna feed?
I
Right?
find sometimes, it's happened a few times with ECHO, actually happened on the first week, both last year and year before. I was getting so excited because it was like first day, and then when I went to bed, I had a dream about the first day ECHO, and it went very similar to how it actually turned out.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
That happens to
the
me all the
same
time when I'm super
way,
excited.
But instead of like school, it was a show that I went to,
Nice.
and I ended up doing pretty well at that show.
That's so cool. Yeah. See, so you guys have already been using this and not even knowing what it was. And definitely not knowing how powerful it was, huh?
I was
I just
thinking,
do this to keep my mind sharp.
I was also thinking of in theater when we have to block scenes without any of the props.
Mm-hmm.
Like once,
Yeah, you've got a leg up with theater because you have to use your imagination.
until you get the props,
Absolutely.
you're going blindfold.
And it's got to be pretty close to what the props are going to be, or else you'll mess yourself up when the props get there.
Improv.
Yep.
Improv is so good.
Oh man, I love
It's
improv.
scary.
That's fun.
London's the best at it.
All right. So the other thing is, like you guys said, before a big event. So within 24 hours of something big happening, some play, some show, some
Nice.
first day at work, some stuff like that. All right, so how long should you visualize? Even 30 seconds can help. I usually go for about 2 minutes because I have ADHD and I can't sit still longer than that. You don't even have to sit still though. I visualize the best when I'm out on my walk. So like, I laughed at myself because people would think I'm insane if they could just hear me, because I'll be talking on my walk. And I'm not talking to myself. Oftentimes I'm talking to God, but I will be working through imagining stuff happening. Talks with clients, future classes. I envisioned this class yesterday on my walk. It was a very short walk because it was cold, but I did it.
Too bad. Crazy.
Not crazy at all. And sometimes the wisest minds do actually talk to themselves as well. So
I talk to myself a lot.
yeah, so I do
You,
too.
No.
you listen.
She knows that
You
because
do?
she shares a wall with me.
Weird
Yes.
question. Do you
Well, she
have
talks to herself,
one
too.
person in your head, or do you have like multiple?
Oh, don't even go there.
There's like a whole council going
There's
on.
the movie. What is that movie with joy and sadness?
Emotion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Inside
Inside Out. Thank
Inside
you.
Out.
That council. That's the council in my head. One of them's happy. One of them's angry. One of them's excited. One of them's scared.
Mom,
About
are you taking after
In my
grandma
I got way more than that.
and your brother?
Yeah, a
You
lot
have
more than that.
devotion, you have emotions, then you have every other thing.
Yeah.
You have an academic guy, you have a guy who just wants to lie down for a bit.
The guy that wants to suck up to everyone who might have something to do with his success.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
And you just have the guy in the corner that we just keep in a straitjacket who
Just sitting there going.
he escapes. That's where the crazy ideas come from. He escapes.
And
once in
every
a
now
while.
and then, when you're bored, you listen to him because hey, he's always got a fun idea. You won't be bored for long.
Fun idea.
I saw this sign on the lobby. It said, I know the voices in my head aren't real, but they have some great ideas.
I love that. Okay, all
I
right.
want that on my gravestone.
So this is how you make it even more powerful, and I've hinted at this already. Of course, you guys know me. We're gonna invite God into it. Like I said, my favorite time to visualize is right before I get into my Bible. I pray, and then I visualize, and then I get into my Bible. And bringing Him into it just does something. It reminds me that I'm not in control, and that's a good thing. I don't have to have all the answers.
And then you have a real voice inside your head.
Yes, exactly. And if you get really good at that, and you only get good at it from repeated daily practice, so just get in there. Even if it feels awkward and weird and you don't think you're good at it at all, you will get better at it. And it will change your life. All right, so before you visualize, you pray something like, God, just show me the future you have for me. Align my vision with your will. Help me see what you see. Before every class, I do a prayer like this, usually the night before, asking God to guide me in creating the script, in making any last minute changes, and in delivering it. And oftentimes I go off my script because I'm open to His guidance. I'm open to Him taking control. This is His class. And I knew that from the very beginning before it ever even got approved, that this is His class. And so I pray that to Him, that He lets this go the way He wants it to, that He show me the way. So when you visualize with Him, you imagine Him walking with you through that future. You thank Him for the doors that He is opening and the growth that He's creating in you, the purpose that He's revealing to you. That's not just visualization, that's faith in action. And that is the greatest way to show your faith. Remember, Jesus told us, faith without works is dead. So everybody's like, oh yeah, you can't prove your faith by works. No, no, no. Works alone are nothing. But faith without works is dead. Okay, so faith in action is a big thing for Jesus. Awesome, I'm right on time. Okay, so this week's homework is not something you guys can rush at the last minute. And thankfully we have plenty of time. We can get a little head start on it. This assignment, actually you guys can still get the head start. You just can't do the daily work until your future me video is done. This assignment is about daily visualization. training your brain and spirit to see your future clearly, one day at a time. All right? Now we're going to have a base to start on. I'm not just going to tell you guys, imagine your future. I want you to pull out your journals and flip to the be, do, have lists that you guys had so much fun creating.
How many years ago was that?
Wasn't even one.
It was about 3 months ago?
3
4
months.
ago? Three months. It's in October, right?
It was like the third week of Echo.
I think it was the,
Third week of Echo.
it was the fifth.
Third.
No, fifth was Smart Goals. Fourth.
Third.
Third was limiting beliefs.
No, fourth was something.
I will prove it to you later. Be quiet and get your journal.
Almost done.
That's a really cool picture, by the way.
I'm making grass.
I see that. That's really cool. All right. So I know that some of you do not have 50 items on each be, do, and have list, and that's okay. Now, for those of you who don't have much at all, you might need to do a little bit of extra work. Okay? But it'll be easy based on that future self you just got done talking to or will have gotten done talking to when you finish last week's homework.
No wonder you're taking so long. I've been expecting you.
So, when you have your list, you're going to go ahead and choose a symbol, like we did with the short-term goals. You guys remember picking a symbol to choose for the short-term goals? You're going to pick a new symbol. And you're going to do this for any long-term goal, so more than 2 years. Anything on your lists that you think will take you more than 2 years, put a new symbol. You can choose a star, a triangle, a little hourglass is the one I picked for my long-term ones. And you're going to just mark all of the long-term items.
Yeah, I did not get nearly enough done on this.
Yeah,
I got
it's okay. While you're thinking on it,
5 Ds.
while you're thinking on it, more things will come to mind and you can write them down too. Okay?
A lot of house.
I told you getting this list done would help you in future lessons.
No.
I did. I made it clear. I have the video proof.
Did not.
I have video proof.
Did not. Do not.
Okay. So if you feel like your list is still incomplete, you still have to do the
You
lesson.
said more than 2 years?
More than 2 years.
I think this one's gonna take like more than 10.
Then it gets your little mark. It gets your mark. That's fine.
I think this deserves a bigger mark.
Now, that's fine too if you want. That can be a legacy goal. If that's a legacy goal, like 10 to 15 plus and up, then that can have a specific mark.
I think money.
Yeah.
Every single
Well,
one.
when does that goal ever really come to fruition? When is enough enough?
When you put a number on it.
When you've got,
Good point.
when you die making more money.
I put a number
You guys
on
don't
it.
have any money.
I put a number on it. I'm gonna make $50,000 in my coaching business this year.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's my monetary goal for the next 12 months for my
For what?
coaching business.
50,000.
Hey, congrats on the climb, by the way. Kevin told me at work last Saturday.
Thank you.
So 2 days ago.
Yeah. Look, the weeks kind of run together.
Thank you. Yeah,
Just want to break that we have.
stuff is happening.
Yeah, winter break. It just, I don't know what day was what. Something.
Yeah, it's like
happened.
winter break happened, and then we came back, and then we had 2 more weeks of winter break.
All I remember is like it was like a few weeks, Christmas, New Year's,
Mhm.
then
We
stuff.
came back for a week
And
and
then
it got cold.
I got sick.
All right, so over the next few days, I want you guys to be looking over these lists, visualizing a bit on each long-term goal you just marked. And of course, you can keep marking and finish marking at home. That's fine too. I'm not trying to rush you guys. I just want to make sure we have plenty of just downtime before the next class, okay? Every single day, I want you guys to spend a few minutes visualizing a few of those long-term goals. And I want you to do this until you decide on the one that you want to make your current focus. You will choose one goal that feels meaningful, not just impressive, okay, meaningful, matters to who you are becoming, not just who you are now, okay? It is realistic for a 3 to 5 year timeline, okay? We marked all the 2+, but I want you guys to pick one that's realistic for a 3 to 5 year timeline. And I want you to be willing to revisit this goal repeatedly in future lessons. Because this is the goal that will become a building block for what we do later in this semester. So choose it carefully. Now, if you only have like really big long-term goals and you need to turn this 10-year goal into a 3 to 5, think about what halfway would look like for that 10-year goal, okay? That's a good way to get a chunk from it. And same goes the other way. If you only have shorter term goals, say none of your goals are more than 2 years, well then think about each one of those short-term goals and think, what would that be leading me to? What is that going to feed in the future? And that can help you come up with more ideas to add to your be-do have lists.
I just realized one of the goals I had actually might be happening soon. My parents talked to us the other day. I'd always been wanting to go to the Ark Encounter, and they said, hey, for your senior trip, we're going to see if we can maybe go there. So,
That's awesome.
The Ark Encounter, I've always wanted
Wait,
to do
when
that.
did
Really, you never been?
Last
Never
night.
been.
Incredible. We
You
weren't
were
even
pissed.
able to do the entire thing. It was so good.
Wow. Yeah, I've been told that you need like 2 or 3 days.
Mhm.
You need a hotel nearby and like 2
Well,
nights.
we had my grandparents went with us on that trip, so we had them. So they kind of slowed us down.
You
but
had
we
to
had a
move
lot
over.
of bonding time. Everyone's only made it to like the 3rd or 4th floor.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's so huge. That's one of the things that is on my absolutely have to do list with my kids. Who knows? Maybe later this year. That'd be cool. If I hit my monetary goals, we'd have the money to do that.
Do it when it's
The Ark
nice
Encounter.
weather out, not
Yeah, like
cold
fall.
or anything. Not like cold. Even like
I'll
fall
show you
time,
later.
though, it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
So.
This is some very inspiring words from my dream list to do. Learn how.
That sounds like something you started writing in class and thought, I'll finish it at home.
No, I started writing it at home and thought, oh, I'll finish it later. I don't even know what I was going to write. Or
8
no, I
letters.
started writing it, got distracted, and forgot.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're gonna choose one meaningful goal. We talked about the requirements, and that will be on your reminder list, so don't worry. Now, step 3 of this week's homework is daily visualization practice on that goal. This is the core of your homework. Once you've picked your goal, your daily visualization becomes reviewing, or until you pick that goal, it is reviewing your long-term goals, visualizing each one, and making sure you pick the one that feels right. But once you've selected it, your daily practice becomes closing your eyes and visualizing that goal as if it's already real. Using as many senses as possible, like we talked about. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel emotionally? You can imagine what a day in your life looks like after achieving that goal. This should take 1 to 5 minutes per day, so it is not a big ask. I know I can expect you guys to follow through. 1 to 5 minutes. Even if you put it off all day long and just do it right before bed, it's perfectly fine with me. Just do it every day. This is not optional, and it can't be crammed at the end of the week. Okay? Visualization works best when it is repeated. All right, step 4 is your written visualization. This is what's actually due next class. After you visualized that goal that you want to become reality, that 3 to 5 year goal, I want you guys to write 1 to 2 solid paragraphs or type describing in detail what the actualization of your chosen goal looks like. Okay, what your life looks like when it exists, how you feel living in that reality, what has changed about you, how your faith is present and active in that future. Be detailed, be specific, and be honest. This is not about perfect writing. I don't care about your grammar or your spelling. As long as I can generally see what it says, I'm fine. It's about your own clarity.
What is clarity mean?
Being completely clear on something, like totally sure and understanding, okay? So I'm gonna remind you guys again, This assignment is about training your mind. Do not put it off. It defeats the purpose. You can put it off all day, but that minute before you go to sleep, you better be visualizing. All right? The daily visualization is what builds those neural pathways, so it's really important. You gotta remember, they say Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, your future isn't built in a single day either, okay? It forms through repeated focus. In the next few weeks, we're gonna be building on this work, so take it seriously, because it's going to start shaping who you become. All right? We have a good solid 10 minutes, but before you guys just put up all your stuff and start chatting, I want to leave you with this. Visualization is not just a success technique. It is a faith practice. When you visualize your future with God at the center, you are doing what Hebrews 11:1 describes. You're having assurance about what you do not see. You are exercising your faith. You're trusting that God is working even when you don't see it. That your future is hopeful and prosperous. That the seeds you're planting today will grow into something beautiful tomorrow. Okay? And we know that because when you align your vision with His vision, when you dream with Him and not just for yourself, He will establish your plans. Remember a few weeks ago now, Proverbs 16:3, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So go home this week and see your future. Imagine it so clearly that your brain has no choice but to start salivating at the thought, like with that lemon. Attach it to faith, not just willpower, okay? Pray to God about not putting this off, you guys, and He can help you. Pray to God to keep you committed and steady on this journey, all right? He will help you. Watch for what God does, okay? And keep going, because you guys are worth all this effort. Okay? I'm going to pass out the reminders.